I'm Anna Skemp.
And I'm Will Jude. Welcome to Johnnie Bennie Campus News, CSB SJU's weekly news show, filling you in with what's going on around campus.
This week we will cover everything from March Madness and the indoor track team to a new science and technology segment. And to top off this week's show, we will be covering how to become a better leader and a career-focused student.
First up tonight, Lauren Faust with sports.
Thanks, Anna and Will. Hi, my name is Lauren Faust, and I'm the sports reporter for Johnnie Bennie Campus News. Tonight, we are going to give you an update on your Blazer and Johnnie track teams as they wrapped up their indoor seasons and are now preparing for the outdoor season. After that, we will take a look at March Madness and how students think the Final Four will turn out. First, here's your update on track and field. Earlier this week, Nick Lemont caught up with 5 Blazer track and field athletes who all competed in the NCAA Track and Field Championships on March 15th in Nebraska.
Thanks, Lauren. I'm here with Allie Kusabud, a freshman on the track team. Allie, you had quite the season. You had all MIAC honors. You were a 2-time Blazer Athlete of the Week. You shattered the records for the school for the 800 and the 1,000-meter dash. Is it the 1,000-meter dash?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
And you finished 14th in the country in the 800-meter. What was your proudest moment of the season?
I think breaking the 1,000 record was the most exciting. I went into the race having no idea how to run 1,000, and I was able to just tag on to a girl from Carleton, and having all of the team backing me up. It was a lot of fun, a lot of energy in the stadium.
What is it about track and running that keeps you motivated?
I love running in general, but I love running with the team even more. So it's really the girls that keep me motivated. We have such a strong background and such a strong base of everyone that you just want to run to have fun with them. So.
And after such a successful indoor season, how do you take that momentum into your outdoor season?
I'm very excited to continue into the outdoor season. Just to be able to run outside on the track, I think it's going to be like a breath of fresh air. In more ways than one. But I just want to continue to do well. I'm really excited to run an 800 and only have it be 2 laps instead of 4. So we'll see how it goes.
Are the laps, the outdoor one and the indoor one, different?
Yes. So the indoor tracks are twice as small. So I run 4 laps inside for an 800 and only 2 outside. So it'll be good.
All right. Well, congratulations on a successful season,
Thank you.
And good luck in the upcoming season.
Thank you.
And now we have Mandy Witchen, a senior on the track team. Mandy finishing all MIAC, taking the top 3 times in school history in the 60-meter hurdles, and going to the NCAA championship where you took top 10 in the 60-meter hurdles. How do you prepare for a successful season like that?
I guess it's just a lot of work in the off season, and I ran cross country in the fall, so that gave me a really good base coming into track. And then I think the most important thing is just listening to my body and kind of making sure I take care of myself, because student teaching this semester in addition to track has been very busy, so I just have to make sure I strike a good balance between academics and training, and that I'm not running myself thin. So.
Well, the training you were telling me before the interview sounds really intense, so you stay pretty busy.
Yeah.
And you experienced something that not many of us get to experience. What is it like when you cross the finish line at the NCAA championships?
Well, I guess the first time I crossed the finish line, I was running the 60-meter hurdles, which tend to terrify me. So when I finish, I usually feel like I survived to move on to the next thing. But I guess it's just kind of overwhelming to think like that I made it to that point, because it's been something that I've definitely thought about like the last 4 years. So it's just really rewarding and kind of surreal. So
That's got to be incredible. And you got 13th place in the entire country in the pentathlon. And for those people who don't know all the track events, what is a pentathlon?
It's 5 different events in one day. So you show up at the meet and warm up for your hurdles, and then after the 60-meter hurdles are done, you have like a half hour before your next event. So for the pentathlon, it's high jump, and then after that is shot put, and then I go long jump, and then you finish with an 800.
Wow, that's quite the event.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations on the great season,
Thank
and
you.
good luck in the outdoor season.
Thanks.
Now we move from an individual event into an event that relies not just on yourself, but on your teammates. I have Manon Gammon-Deering, Kelsey Larson, Maria Kaminsky, and Allie back with us. They were your distance medley relay team in the NCAA championship that took 12th. Tell me about how the NCAA championship was. What was it like?
It was just an amazing experience to be there in the first place. We weren't initially expecting to go to the championship starting out in the season. We were just wanting to break the DMR record, so getting there was just icing on the cake. And just to be around, like in an atmosphere with so many amazing athletes, was just a great place to be.
And what is key to having success as a relay team?
I think the huge key is to trust each other, because you have to just go into it with confidence, and it's not just you, you're putting your race in someone else's hands. And so if you trust your teammates, I think you can usually experience success.
And can you take us through what a DMR consists of?
Yeah. So the DMR is a medley, so it's different distances. So the first distance is the 1200, and that's what Manon ran. And then you goes 12 to the 400, which is what Maria ran. And then I ran the 800, and Allie ran the mile.
Or in order, not on purpose.
So this is how it went. The distance medley relay.
That worked out great.
Yep.
All right. And then is there more pressure to compete as an individual or as a teammate?
There's a lot of pressure regardless, but I think they all agree too that having a team with you kind of takes the pressure off a little bit. Individual would definitely be more pressure, but just having the support of your teammates around you and knowing that they're cheering you on right along like the track when you're running is really supportive, and it helps.
Great. Well, congratulations on the placing at NCAA championship, and good luck in the outdoor season.
Thank you.
Back to you, Lauren.
Thanks, Nick. Also, junior Nick Welshon competed for the Johnnies at the NCAA championships in the high jump and successfully registered the first qualifying height of 1.94 meters. We wish them luck now in their outdoor season, which begins at home this Saturday on March 29th. Lastly, the highly anticipated season of March Madness is finally here. Reporter Tony Maher was in Sexton this past week, asking Johnnies and Bennies who they predict will be in this year's Final Four.
Hey guys, this is Tony reporting for JBCN, and today we're going to find out from some Johnnie and Bennies just who they think might win it all in the NCAA Final Four. And first, we're going to stop at Johnny Java and pick up a bracket and just see for ourselves. All right, we're here to grab our bracket, so let's go see what some other people think.
My Final Four predictions are Kansas, Duke, Oklahoma State, and Creighton.
I got Wichita State coming from the Midwest, Creighton coming out of the West. I'll take the Monstars coming out of the East, and then I'll take, Dayton out of the South.
My Final Four predictions are Florida, Michigan State, Creighton, and Louisville.
My Final Four predictions are Eastern Kentucky, Villanova, Gonzaga, and Duke.
My Final Four predictions are Florida, Iowa State, Wisconsin, and Michigan.
Well, there you have it, folks. My Final Four predictions are Florida, Arizona, Michigan State, and Duke. Now back to Lauren in the studio.
Thanks for that, Tony. I sure hope Duke makes it to the Final Four. So that does it for sports. And once again, my name is Lauren Faust. Have a great week. Now back to Anna and Will in the studio.
The Blazer and Johnnie indoor track teams have both had great seasons, and it's so exciting that they both went to the NCAA championships.
Well, Anna, I for one am really enjoying March Madness and predict Iowa State will win.
Well, I'm rooting for Florida, so we'll see who wins come April.
Ha! Good luck. I know the Cyclones will win it all. Just you wait and see. Now let's go to James Bethulis with JBCN's new Science and Technology segment.
Thanks, Anna and Will. Hi, I'm James, the Science and Technology correspondent for Johnnie Bennie Campus News. Medical researchers at Mass General Hospital reported people with Crohn's disease may have less bacterial diversity in their GI systems. Their findings, published in Cell, Host, and Microbe, suggest those afflicted with Crohn's have a disproportionately high count of bacteria that present with inflammation. The research team hopes to clarify the role of bacteria in autoimmune disorders through subsequent studies. In 2008, Google released a flu tracker feature. The program collects the frequency of flu-related searches and then plots them geographically, allowing users to see where the flu is. However, when compared to data from the Centers for Disease Control, which tallies the number of flu-related visits to hospitals and clinics, the program is generous in its prediction of flu cases. Medical professionals are hopeful that Google will let outside scientists collaborate with Google employees to create an algorithm that more accurately predicts the flu's impact and trajectory, as it has the potential to serve as a valuable logistical tool, allowing more efficient vaccine dispersal and hospital staffing. I am now joined by CSB Junior MC Decker. MC has been working on exciting research through the CSB SJU Undergraduate Research Fellowship Program. She's been working on fruit flies. Thanks for joining us, MC.
No problem, James.
So tell me about your research.
Well, it started last summer as a part of the research fellowship. And then this semester, I decided to make it an ILP and work just with Dr. Schaefer. And then I'm continuing my research this summer as a part of my honors thesis. Really what it's doing is we are looking at the neurological manifestations of the genetic variation in fruit flies.
Okay, for our audience who may not be as familiar with these technical terms, what does that mean in plain English? Tell me.
So we have a bunch of weird fruit flies,
Okay,
right?
got it.
And of all of the mutants, what we're doing is looking at what weird genes they have and then what it does to them.
So you're picking out the weird ones saying, what are you doing with your weird genes?
Right.
And then looking at their behavior and motor function.
Exactly.
Well, really cool. And so how are fruit flies this, I mean, they seem like a very simple organism. Can you take something as simple as a fruit fly and kind of generalize things about it and say that this is something that we find in humans as well?
Yes, actually that's exactly what we do. So it's called a model organism. And the reason we use fruit flies as a model organism for humans is because they pass their genes along in a very similar fashion to we do. And they are small organisms, like you say, which is nice because then they only have 3 chromosomes, which is pretty easy to work with.
Oh.
And we have the chromosomes mapped. So what that means is that we know where all of the genes are and what all of them do.
So you can look at a genome and say mutation, 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 and so identify it as a mutant.
Exactly.
Okay, very
And we know what mutants they are.
So would you recommend undergraduate research to maybe an aspiring young scientist, maybe a freshman who's not quite sure?
I for sure would. Undergraduate research is a huge opportunity. It's hard to kind of get into, but if you can get your foot in the door, you absolutely want to do it. It's a lot of work. You have to put in a lot of time outside of class, which is tough because, you know, homework and parties and stuff, but it's worth it. And doing research now will open a lot of doors later.
And if the positions are very competitive, and so if, let's say you were looking for a collaborator, what are some, personal characteristics of someone who you would like to work with, or who would be a good candidate for a laboratory position?
Well, you got to be self-motivated because research is all independent. You have a professor who's kind of watching over you and making sure you don't break too much stuff, but other than that, you got to get yourself in the lab, make yourself do your project, work on your research, and it takes a lot of time. So you have to make sure you just stay on track and keep going. The other thing, you have to have fun with it because the science building gets kind of dull. So
I agree.
You got to have a good time with your coworkers. We used to always go out for lunch and swim in the lake. So
Fun.
yeah.
And so you work closely with a faculty member. And I know we were talking earlier. You said that was kind of one of your favorite aspects of the research. Could you talk more about that?
Well, I work with Dr. Jen Schaefer, and she is hysterical. She's one of the very youngest professors in the biology department. So she's kind of fresh out of grad school, newlywed. She's got a baby on the way, so it's pretty exciting.
So you're almost like you're pretty much friends with her.
We've developed a personal relationship, which is nice. And I think it's a good thing for students to experience, because I know that you forget that professors are people.
Right.
You know, you think they sleep in their classrooms and that they come out for class and lab.
On Big Bang kind of.
Right.
So, yeah.
That's not true. Apparently they live lives as well. So.
Well, and finally, in closing, what have you learned from your research what's an obstacle that you had to overcome that didn't present itself initially?
Well, fruit flies, they're really little. So in order to dissect a fruit fly, you have to use the littlest pair of scissors you've ever seen. They're like this big.
So manual dexterity.
Exactly.
All right, well, thank you, MC, for joining us. It's been a pleasure to have you in studio.
Thanks, James.
All right, now back to you, Anna and Will.
Such an interesting segment. Let's hope the flu ceases its course soon.
It's really exciting to see our students developing their own research here at CSB and SJU. Now let's go to Joey Evavold, who is going to introduce you to Career Monopoly, a fun, on-campus activity where students can win some exciting prizes.
Hi, this is Joey Evavold with Johnnie Bennie Campus News. I'm in front of Mary Hall at St. John's University, and today I'm going to check out the Career Center to see what they are currently hosting for students on campus. For the past 2 weeks, Career Services has been holding their yearly game of Careeropoly. It's a great opportunity designed for students to engage in developmental activities and learn about many available resources that are offered. During this time, you can attend qualifying events and complete tasks in order to redeem stickers that will give you a chance to win bigger prizes. Johnnies can pick up their board here in Mary Hall 25, and Bennies can get started in the Academic Services building. Each campus offers a variety of events and prizes. Last week, we went to the Career Resource Center at CSB. We interviewed Andrea Betts, a career assistant for St. Ben's students, and talked more about the benefits of Careeropoly. Let's take a look at how that went.
Careeropoly is a program that we have for our first years and sophomores, and basically what it is an opportunity for first years and sophomores to come into the Career Resource Center and kind of figure out what we're all about. And it's a way to get everybody involved with different professional development activities and earn some great prizes along the way. Along the way, you can earn t-shirts, water bottles, Chipotle gift cards. There's also some Gary's Pizza and on-campus coffee shop cards as well. Some Visa gift cards, Macy's gift cards are some of the bigger prizes towards the end. Lots of opportunities. First of all, you get awesome career development, and you get really a kickstart to job searches and applications, and you have a resume ready for anything that you are looking to do. Sometimes jobs come up really quickly and you need to have a resume ready to go, but by coming in and getting one during your first or second year, you can just keep adding to that and really building it as you go. Obviously, our prizes aren't too bad either, so that's a good incentive, but not the complete reason for Careeropoly. So lots of opportunities for professional development.
Thanks, Andrea and Career Services, for joining us on the show. If you're interested in attending events and workshops, there are a few going on this week. Tomorrow, the 25th, there will be a resume workshop in Gretzky 120 at 6:30 p.m. At SJU, internship and job searches will be available in Quad 264 at 7 p.m. Looking at how companies recruit using social media will also be part of this fun event. To find out more about events and activities, check out Career Services' full schedule on the CSB SJU website. The last day to play is April 4th, and prizes are until they last. Hurry in and grab your board. Again, you can find Career Services in the Academic Service Building at CSB and in Mary Hall 25 at SJU. Hours are 8:30 a.m. until 4:30 p.m. Tune in next week to hear more about Career Services as we go more in depth with what they are all about. I'm Joey Evavold for Johnnie Bennie Campus News. Thank you for watching. Now let's take it back to the studio.
I have already picked up my board and cannot wait to win some of those awesome prizes. Have you gotten your board yet, Will?
No, but after seeing some of those prizes, I definitely will be. Make sure you tune in next week to find out even more about Career Monopoly and how the Career Resource Centers here at CSB and SJU can benefit students from both campuses.
Currently going on for the next 3 weeks is the Inspired Leaders series on both campuses, with various workshops put on by the Leadership Development Team. Reporter Cayman Salitros had the chance to sit in on a few of them during the first week and ask the presenters about the talks that they gave.
Anna, as the school year heads down the home stretch with rigorous classes and constant tests and papers due every week, the Leadership Development Team on campus is bringing students a 5-week program of seminars titled the Inspired Leadership Series. Over the 5 weeks, there are a total of 13 different talks for Bennies and Johnnies to attend. Some of the discussions that already happened were a student leaders panel talk, stress reduction, gender Gumby, and utilizing student employment in the real world. During the first week, I was able to sit in on 2 different ones and ask both the presenters about the talk they gave. The first was a workshop titled How to Argue, Investigating the Nature of Disagreement, and was presented by Professor Emily Esch, and here is what she had to say.
That students would come away with learning at least a few different concepts that are going to end up being helpful the next time they find themselves defending their position. Sort of our craft is to argue, and we have like concepts that I think are valuable to lots of people besides philosophers, since everyone has to argue. So my thought was that they'd be particularly valuable for people who hope to find themselves in leadership roles, because personally I would love it if our leaders were rational creatures using, good tools of argumentation.
The second talk was Money Management for Johnnies and Bennies and was presented by Stuart Perry from the Financial Aid Office, and here is what he had to say.
Hi, I'm Stuart Perry from the St. Ben's St. John's Financial Aid Office, and as part of the ILCP series we're offering a basic money management for Bennies and Johnnies, and we talk about basic investment information, provide some definitions of stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and talk about what kind of an average check looks like and expenses to be covered. We get into some good discussions about different types of financial topics and what are the important lessons for folks who are young adults just starting out, what kind of lessons they need to take into the job market as far as their financial planning and use of their money goes. So hopefully you can join us for a future presentation on money management for Bennies and Johnnies.
So if you have yet to attend one of these great discussions, there are still 6 left in the next 3 weeks. This has been Cayman Salitros reporting for JBCN. Now back to Anna and Will in the studio.
Thanks, Cayman. Now let's take a look at some upcoming events here on campus.
On Wednesday, March 26th, the Johnnie baseball team plays the University of Minnesota in an away game. On March 28th, the Blazer tennis team has a match against South Dakota State.
Saturday, March 29th, it's the St. Ben's and St. John's track and field invite, and the Johnnie baseball team will take on St. Olaf in their home opener while the Blazer softball team is at McAllister.
Also on Saturday is the Blazer tennis team competing at Bethel. To wrap up the week of sports is the Johnnie tennis team traveling to Duluth on Sunday to take on the College of St. Scholastica.
On Tuesday, March 25th at 7, there will be a panel for all CSB and SJU students where they can learn how to use social media to find internships and jobs.
This week is Sex Trafficking Awareness Week. There will be events for CSB SJU students to attend through Sunday where they can learn more about this global issue and how they can help stop and prevent it.
This upcoming weekend is Little Siblings Weekend, so there will be plenty of fun activities here on campus for you to bring your siblings to. A few of them include the annual Mr. SJU competition, Friday night at 7 p.m. Saturday has many events during the day, which include the annual Maple Syrup Festival at the Sugar Shack, to Dancing with the Stars, and even a showing of Frozen at Night.
That's all for tonight. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Anna.
And I'm Will. See you next week, Bennies and Johnnies.